See students, now I have started with part B program, and whatever the concepts I teach I teach from 4th and 5th module, that is related to part B programs. Please don't miss any class. And it is online class, online lab we are doing. If you have any errors, if you have any problems in when you execute part B program, then when you execute part B program, then it is difficult to rectify the errors. If it is physical classes, then if you would have done in the lab only, we would have resolved the errors. No, it is online mode. We don't know whether you are executing or not. We are not coming to coming to know your status, how much you are learning. If, so that is why don't miss any class. See the strength, only 22 students are there. Yes, students, is the screen is visible? Can you see the PPT? PPT ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, is the PPT is visible? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, students, in last class I have started with XAML. XML is one of the first thing you will encounter while working with the window presentation foundation is that is XAML. XAML stand for extensible application markup language, and it is this XAML is based on XML. This we have seen in the last class, and we have also seen the basic syntax of XAML. And next we have namespaces and XAML. Yes, student, XAML namespace is really an extension of the concept of XML. It is XAML is it is really an extension of XAML. The primary concept, yes, the primary concept that is added to XAML definition of the XML namespace is that XAML namespace implies both the scope of uniqueness for markup languages, uniqueness of markup language usage, and also influence how markup entities are potentially backed by specified CLR namespaces and referenced assemblies. See here we have some of the examples of namespaces, XAML namespaces, student. Here, see what is namespace? What is namespace? What is namespace? The first module we have learned. Here we are going to learn the namespace of XAML, students. Namespace of XAML. Namespace. Any definition for namespace? Namespace. Respond. Yes, students, you are attending so many companies for placement, and nobody is responding. What is placement? Sorry, what is namespace? What is namespace? This namespace is a set of instructions to avoid the conflict. We use namespace. In XAML also we have namespace. In introduction, in the first module, we have seen some of the namespaces. The namespaces we use only when it is required. For example, namespace forms. When we are executing a form program, then we use namespace form. When we are executing a SQL client program, then we include namespace SQL client in the program. So whichever the namespace is necessary, only those namespaces we use in the program. Here we have some of the namespaces, that is XAML HTTP namespace schema.microsoft.com/winfx 2006 XAML presentation. This is one namespace, and the other namespace is HTTP Schema Microsoft.xml Winx 2006 XAML. So these two namespaces I have given as a example. Yes, here some of the examples are there. So yes, students, these examples you can find in the textbook also. But here I want to show you how to implement the window presentation foundation in the program. Yes, I want to show you how to implement the window presentation foundation in the program. Yes, students, you know that how to begin with a program. You know how to begin with the program window application program. That is, go to file, new project. Go to file, new project. So your window form, your form, what there you have to label the form. Here we label the form, and here I label this as window presentation foundation 1. So why? Because here I am showing the usage of WPF or how we execute WPF program. So WPF 1 I have given. Yes. I'll close. I'll open after first. I'll show you the steps later. Again, I'll come back to this program only because in this program I have included some of the buttons. First, I'll demonstrate you how to open a window presentation foundation program. Yes, students, what label I have given for this program? WPF1. This Visual Studio will take some time to open. So the same way how we include the new program, new project, window application project in the in our Visual Studio, the same way we have to include a new project. Once we include a new project, the next step is we need to include a window presentation foundation file or window presentation foundation form in our program. Yes, students, are you following whatever I'm explaining? Nobody is responding. Well, I'm not understanding whether you are understanding or not. Madhushri, I don't know whether Madhushri, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Madhushri, are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, students. Here I have taken a new form, that is window presentation foundation. Yes, in last class I have discussed. We have discussed about the Solution Explorer. Now, if you go to Solution Explorer, what all the options you can see in the Solution Explorer, students? Please respond. What are the options you can see in the Solution Explorer? What are there? WPF1 is a file name which I have saved. It has properties, references, and the program.cs file. Correct, no? It has program.cs file. Now, right click on the program name, that is WPF. Go to add new item. Add new item. So here I select user control. User control. Which user control I select? Window presentation foundation. Yes, students, window presentation foundation I'm going to select. Gotakta idea how I'm doing? Yes, first you open the program, go to Solution Explorer. Yes, students, if I am fast, you please tell me. Am I fast? Am I fast, students? Anusha, are you following? Yes, go to Solution Explorer, right click on the program name or the project name, click on add button, then go to new item. Go to new item. Here in the new item, I select user control. Which user control? Window presentation foundation, because here we are learning the usage of XAML in window presentation foundation. In window presentation foundation we are learning. So select user control window presentation foundation. Here, if you want to see, if you can observe the file name, students, user control dot xaml extension. It is coming with the xaml extension. So in the xaml as extension, I'll change this user control um, window presentation foundation. WPF only I'll give. WPF1 I'll give. XAML is a extension. Click on add button. Now you can see the solution explorer. Now you observe the solution explorer. Previously WPF1.xaml was not there. Now I have added to my program, so it has come. So can you see WPF1 XML? Hey, students, can you see? Can you see? ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now what I do is I have a grid. Yes, students, you can see this user control. See, this is a XML code. In the PPT I have shown, no, in the last class. I'll show the PPT once again. If you forgot, I'll show the PPT. Yes, this code we have seen in the last class. No, I told you this is a default. This is a default code when we take this XAML file. Nenpidiya? I told this is a default code. When you take a window presentation foundation file, when you add a window presentation foundation to the program, then it will generate a default code. Yes, e code idya. Sati, again we'll go back to the program and we'll check. Yes, students. Yes, that code is there. Now see here. Can you see this? I'll increase the font size. Yes, students, can you see the grid? Grid ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Respond. So in the grid nothing is there. In the grid nothing is there. So here also you cannot see anything. Now we are going to add one by one. That is button margin is equal to, within the double quotes, 100, 25, this is a size I am mentioning here. See, students, in one second. Name is equal to button 1, close the angle bracket. The name of the button is welcome. Yes, students, now you can see this button in the grid view. Yes, I have added a button in the grid view. Now you can see, because this Visual Studio is a little slow in my laptop, so it will take some time to load this. Yes, students. Now I'll go back to my window presentation file which I have opened previously. Now this I have opened just to demonstrate you how to include window presentation foundation in the program. How to include window presentation file in window presentation in the program. Yes, is the screen is visible, students? ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Respond. Okay. Yes. Now what I do, I'll go to toolbox. I'll drag and drop the button. I'll drag and drop the button. So this is one way of taking button. Now what I have done is here in the XAML, I am writing the code. Yes, students. You can observe here the down you can see the code. Down you can see the code. Initially the grid view was empty. So I have included one button here. I have included one button. After this button nothing is there. Again I'll go to toolbox. I'll select button and I'll just drag and drop here. I'll just drag and drop. Now is that button is visible? Yes, is the button is visible in the form, and the button is visible in the button code is also visible in the grid view. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Yes, students, respond. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So like this you can also include label. You can also include label. Yes, label. Now the label code has come here. The label code has come. Now I'll include one more button. I'll not drag and drop, students. Yes, students, I am showing both the methods. By typing in the code directly also you can include the button. You can include the button. See here, still if you observe the code properly, I have copied and pasted the first line code, the button 1 code. So I am getting the error here. What error I am getting? The button 1 is already, you can click here. It will show the error. So name button 1 already exists in the current name scope. So still I have not done any modification. Now what I do, I change the button name 1 to button name 2 and welcome to window presentation foundation. So window presentation foundation button I'll create. Yes, every time you need to close the save the file. Every time you need to save the file. So this is button 2. Button 2. Yes, I have changed it to button 2. Yes, students, if you observe the control, if you observe the grid view, already button 2 is also there because I have dragged and dropped from the toolbox. Yes, for that also it is showing error. Yes, is it showing error? On the screen only it is showing error. Name button 2 already exists in the current name scope. Yes, I'll change it to name 3. Yes, students, are you following? Yes. Now I have got one more button. Yes, students, for the button 3 is Button 3 is overlapped with button 1. So on button 1, the button 3 is visible. So now I am not able to see button 1. I am not able to see welcome button. Why? Why? The margin. The margin I have not changed. The margins I have not changed. So now I'll change the margin. Then that thing, then that will be reflected in the program. That will be reflected in the program. Yes, students, can you see two buttons now? Kanistaa idea two buttons ivaga. Yes, students, can you see two buttons? Respond. Respond, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, see here. Now I in my grid view, I have one label. I have three buttons. So three button out of three button, one button I have dragged and dropped. I have dragged and dropped to the to this grid, and two buttons I have typed. I have given a margin. I have given the margin values and I have dragged and dropped. Now I'll include one label. I'll include one label. How to include label is label margin is equal to name is equal to label 1. Label 1 close close. Name of the label is name of the XAML. Yes, students, can you see? Can you see the label now in the program? XAML label.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, like this window presentation foundation, you can edit or you can modify in the program. Now, if you want to include, you can include a X box also. So I'll just drag and drop the text box. Yes. Yes, students, one thing you can observe here, the items which I have dragged and dropped from the toolbox, those items I can move. See, label I have dragged, this label I have dragged and dropped. This button also I have dragged and dropped. In addition to these two, I have welcome button, window presentation for WPF button, and XAML label. But these I cannot move. Yes, these I cannot move. No, the items which I have dragged and dropped from the toolbox, only these items I can move. But the items, these items, because the pixel value, the row column value, I have fixed. The fixed. So I cannot move the buttons here. Welcome button, window presentation foundation button. These buttons I cannot move. Yes, understanding. Yes, students following.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Yes, you can observe the code from the toolbox. I have dragged and dropped the text box, and that code you can see in the grid. Grid ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಆ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್? The text box you can see in the grid. Like this you can edit, or you can design the window presentation, and you can design the XAML form. This is a XAML form. See, you go to toolbox, image, a space has generated to include the image. Yes, for that even the code is also included in the program. Yes, students, even the code is also included. I'll remove this, and because this size is very small, so I take calendar. So calendar I include in my program. So see students, whatever the controls you select, you drag and drop from the toolbox. For all the controls, the code will be generated in the .xaml file. The code will be generated in the .xaml file. Now just we'll try to execute this program. What error it will show, will see. Still I have not completed the code, no, so that's why it is showing some error. So it is an incomplete program. So you understood now how to design the XML file, Similarly, how we did in Windows form, you can drag and drop the controls to the grid view, and you can also include the code in the program directly. You can write the button code, you can write the label code, you can write the text box code in the program. Yes, students. Now we'll come back to the namespaces. So when you include the WPAF file in the program, by default this code will be generated. Yes, you saw this code now. Within this grid only I was including the, within that code only I was including the buttons, labels, text box. Yes students, within this grid only I was including the button, label, text box, calendar, the edition, the designing of a XAML form I was doing within that grid. And here we have some of the namespaces. The namespaces, two examples I've taken: schema.microsoft.com, WinFX, and one more example I have taken here. And one more thing, you can also create your own namespaces in XAML. How in XAML we have created our own tags? Yes, we have created our own tags, no? In your first semester, USN tag, name tag, semester tag. Yes, student, do you remember? Similarly, using this XAML, you can create your own namespaces. You can also create your own namespace, and use it in the XML file by adding the XML root element of these files. Here also some of see here. This is these two are the examples of namespace. And here next we have XAML property syntax. XAML property syntax means how to means what is the syntax of XAML? The syntax of XAML is element underscore name dot property name element underscore name dot property name, the attribute names, the attribute name is equal to value 1, attribute name is equal to value 2, attribute name is equal to value 3, and so on up to value n, and the property name in the angle bracket property name dot element name dot property name. This is a syntax. This is a syntax to declare a property. This is a syntax to declare a XAML. This is a syntax to declare the XAML. Whereas element name specifies the name of the element on which the properties belong to. Property name specify the property name. Attribute name at 1, 2, and so on specifies the name of any attribute that the property may contain. Value specifies the values of the attribute. And the property value specifies the property of the value of the property. So this is the syntax here. Main thing is the syntax of XAML. The syntax of XAML is element underscore name dot property name, attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3, and so on. You can give n number of attributes, and property name is equal to property name angle bracket property name element name dot property name. So this is the syntax of XAML property. The example how to use this XAML property in the program, that we'll see in the next class. Yes, students, here the main thing you need to understand is how to include XAML in the program. The steps you understood now. Go to once you create your window application, go to Solution Explorer, right click in the Solution Explorer, right click on the file name or the program name in the Solution Explorer, go to add. There you can add the window presentation foundation file. Once you add that to the program, then it will show the grid. Grid is nothing but the space where you can edit or where you can modify the window presentation foundation. And here you can add different labels, different text boxes, different buttons. You can also add calendar. What are the controls are available in the toolbox? All those controls you can add in the XAML file. Yes, understood? Yes, students, how to use we have seen the syntax of XAML. Then how to declare the XAML, everything we'll see in the next class, students. Answer your attendance. Yes, before I take attendance, students, I want to yes, students, I'm sending the assessment link in the chat window. In the chat box, I'm sending the assessment link. Complete the assessment in 5 minutes. I'll give you 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, all of you complete the assessment, students. Is Nayana, you want to tell something? Yes, answer your attendance, students. Aditya? Yes, answer your attendance. Aditya? Absent. Ajay?
Yes, ma'am.
Amit?
Yes, ma'am.
Antima? Antima is absent. Apurva?
Present, ma'am.
Apurva, following you understood how to include window presentation foundation file in the program?
Yes, ma'am.
Ashwini?
Yes, ma'am.
Bindu? Bindu is absent. Divyesh? Gaurish?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you finished the assessment, students? Gautami? Gunashekar?
Present, ma'am.
Harini?
Present, ma'am.
Surya?
Present, ma'am.
Surya understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Nayana?
Present, ma'am.
Nazma?
Present, ma'am.
Nidhi?
Present, ma'am.
Pradeep? Pradeep? Preeti?
Present, ma'am.
Rajesh? Sahadev? Saket? Santosh? Seema? Sinchana?
Present, ma'am.
Spurti? Spurti? Shashank?
Present, ma'am.
Varsha? Varsha? Varsha is not there. Yashashwini?
Present, ma'am.
Amruta?
Present, ma'am.
Anusha?
Present, ma'am.
Apurva?
Present, ma'am.
Sai Siddharth? Sai Siddharth? Chetana?
Present, ma'am.
Kavya? Madhushri?
Present, ma'am.
Manish?
Present, ma'am.
Sarfaraz?
Present, ma'am.
Murgesh?
Present, ma'am.
Mani? Mani absent. Paresh?
Present, ma'am.
Pooja?
Present, ma'am.
Paresh is there? Okay. Pooja?
Yes, ma'am.
Present, ma'am. Pooja, present, ma'am.
Prashant? Okay. Prashant? Pratibha?
Present, ma'am.
Pratibha?
Present, ma'am.
Sadhana? Okay.
Present,
Prateek?
ma'am.
Prateek? Prateek? Prateek is absent. Sadhana is there. Shashank?
Present, ma'am.
Shraddha? Shraddha? Shraddha is not there. Sridhar? Sridhar? Tanuj? Sridhar absent alva. Tanuj? Tejaswini? Umme Hani?
Present, ma'am.
Tanuj is not there. Tejaswini is also not there now.
Tejaswini is facing some network.
Prashant, ಇವಾಗ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆದ್ಯಾ? ಹಾ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ I marked. Tejaswini. I'm calling Tejaswini. Tejaswini is
Ma'am, she's
absent.
facing some
Umme
network
Hani?
issues. Present, ma'am.
ಯಾರ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ?
Tejaswini, ma'am.
Okay. Umme Hani? Ashish?
Present, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Umme Hani, Ashish also present. Vidya also present, I can see. Vishal? Yes.
Present, ma'am.
Today many are absent.
Ma'am,
Many are
05.
absent.
Ma'am, 05.
Siddharth, I will not give you attendance. I saw you join for the meeting. Sai Siddharth.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅದು ಕಾಲ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಗಿ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋದೆ ನಾನು.
ಏನ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗಿಂತ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಲು? ಮನೇಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಅದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇದಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ನೆಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ.
ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ 8:30 4:00ವರೆಗೂ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ದಿನ ಇದೇ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು, ಆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮುಗಿಯಕ್ ಬಂತು, ಬಟ್ ನಿಮ್ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮುಗಿತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay, students, tomorrow or by this weekend, I'll give you assignment questions. Yeah, you have to write and scan and send. I'll create one assignment in GCR. To that assignment, you have to send the assignment. Assignment 1 and 2, I'll combine and I'll give in 1 or 2 days. I'll give, and you submit the assignment after Deepavali. After Deepavali, I'll decide one date, 17 or 18. I'll decide 17 or 18. You have to submit me the assignments. Assignment 1 and 2, both the questions I'll give.
Ma'am, 05 present, ma'am.
I marked that time only. I marked.
Okay, ma'am.
Even I understand you'll be having network issues. Sometimes your mic won't work. Here we can see the number of students list. I can see. So by seeing the list only, I'll mark sometimes. I can see those who join for the meeting when I start taking the attendance. Definitely, you people will be sending a message in the group. Madam has started taking attendance, and students will keep joining. I know that. Students, in 1 or 2 days, I'll give you the assignment questions. And this Friday morning, you have .NET Lab. Please don't miss .NET Lab. Because we are executing Part B program. Part B programs are very important programs and very lengthy programs. And those programs are like projects, only mini projects. So don't miss any of the lab of Part B program. So 9:30 sharp, you log in for the meeting. Log in for the class. Okay, students, see you in the next class.